Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for being with us. I'm Will Dupree. A hearing today could determine the future of the buoys placed along the border by Governor Greg Abbott. The barriers behind me that you see are located along a small part of the Rio Grande between the city of El Paso, Texas, and Mexico. The U.S. Justice Department sued over that barrier, which is meant to discourage people from crossing into the U.S. illegally. Our Monica Madden is listening to the proceedings inside a federal courtroom here in Austin. She stepped out this afternoon to give us this update.
This lawsuit all comes down to state versus federal authority and the type of permission that the federal government says Texas needed to get before installing this barrier of buoys along the Rio Grande near Eagle Pass. Now, today's lawsuit hearing is in preliminary injunction hearing, meaning that the judge will decide whether or not to order Texas to remove the buoys and stop installing them in the future. We do expect this case, though, to be appealed depending on that outcome. And Governor Abbott has said that he plans to take it all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court if needed, where they will be determining what type of authority Texas has in this case. Now, Texas has been arguing that because of the flow of migrants we're seeing at the southern border, that it is a so-called invasion, and therefore Texas has the authority to act without permission. However, the federal government says that Texas completely went around the typical permitting process that is needed and is violating treaties with Mexico that might potentially cause some more diplomatic issues, which is some of the concerns we have heard from witnesses that the state, or federal government rather, has been calling today. Take a listen to what someone who is against the buoy said earlier about how Texas went about this in the first place.
All of this was done without due process. I mean, to get anything done down there by the river or in the river takes years to get permissions. How is this able to happen so quickly? This is all done above the law, and no one is above the law, like I said, not even Governor Greg Abbott.
So far, the federal government has called one witness, and we're hearing from another one right now as we speak, who works for the Department of State and handles these types of issues with the U.S.-Mexico diplomatic relations. And we're also expecting perhaps another witness from the federal government, and then at least two witnesses from the state. We'll be bringing you recaps of this court hearing and more about the broad implications of this case later tonight. In Austin, Monica Madden, back to you.